The world had ended long ago. What remained now was silence, broken buildings, and cold winds that whispered through the bones of dead cities. Earth was no longer home. It was a graveyard. In the middle of this dead place, a man walked alone. His name was Reed, a scavenger, a survivor, and perhaps the last real human who still walked without fear. His boots crushed the dust with every step. His eyes, cold and sharp, searched the ruins for supplies, but also for danger. Trust was a forgotten word. He didn't speak much. There was no one left to talk to. That morning, the sky had turned dark earlier than usual. Clouds moved in strange patterns. Something felt wrong. Then he heard it. A signal. It was weak, almost like a whisper, but it repeated in perfect rhythm. Beep, beep, beep. Reed frowned. That's old tech, he muttered. No one uses signals anymore. He checked his tracker. The source was coming from Sector 9, a red zone. No one returned from there. It was said to be cursed. Or worse, infected. He should have walked away, but something in that signal felt human. He followed it. Hours later, the signal led him to an abandoned tower half covered in ash and vines. The metal door was broken, and the walls were stained with black marks, laser burns. Inside, the signal grew louder. He moved slowly, weapon in hand. Then he saw her. At the center of the broken floor, under a flickering light, was a girl. She was on her knees, weak. Her clothes were torn. Blood ran from a wound on her arm. Her silver hair stuck to her face. Her skin was pale, but not fully human. Not fully alien either. She looked up. Their eyes met. She didn't speak at first. Just breathed, fast, shaky. Reed pointed his gun. Who are you? Her lips trembled. Then she spoke. Please, breathe with me. Reed blinked. What? She crawled closer. Her voice cracked. Please, I have no one left. I'm the last of my kind. You're the only one who hasn't walked away. Reed stepped back. His face turned cold. You're not human. I'm half, she whispered. Human mother. Alien father. They called me a mistake. She coughed. Blood touched her lips. But I survived. I carry something inside me. Something important. If I die, it dies. Too. Reed stared at her. His hand didn't lower the gun. Why me? Because you're alive. And you're not like the others. I've watched you, she said. You help. You don't kill without reason. He didn't reply. Then she fell. Her body hit the floor hard. She didn't move. Reed cursed under his breath. He scanned her body with his wrist device. Scan complete. Species: hybrid, human xenotype C, DNA status: unstable. Genetic collapse. Likely. Warning: unknown entity detected. He looked at her again. She looked peaceful now, like a child sleeping, but his mind raced. What was this thing? Why did it want to reproduce? What did she mean by something inside? He had many questions, but no answers. He sat beside her. The silence returned, but this time it felt different. She opened her eyes again, slowly. Will you help me? She asked softly. Reed didn't reply. But he didn't walk away either. That was enough for her. Outside, the sky cracked with thunder. Far away, something large moved behind the clouds, watching and waiting. Darkness. She floated in it, silent, cold, weightless, like her body no longer belonged to her. In her dream, she saw fire. Her home burning, her mother screaming. Soldiers in black suits pulling her away. One of them looked human. One did not. Her name, what was it? Kelara, someone whispered in the dark. She opened her eyes. Light burned her vision. A cracked ceiling. A broken tower. Pain rushed back into her body, and then she remembered him. The human. She turned her head. He was still there. Sitting near the wall, staring at her like she was a puzzle he couldn't solve. Why are you still here? She whispered. Reed didn't answer. He just tossed a protein bar at her. Eat. Kaylara caught it weakly. You didn't run. I should have, he said. She bit the bar. Her hands trembled. I don't have much time. Reed leaned forward. What are you? Kaylara looked at him. Her eyes, now glowing slightly purple, held pain, but also something more, memory. I was born in a lab, she said quietly. Not out of love, out of fear. Reed stayed quiet. They wanted to create a bridge, a link between humans and them, she continued. They thought maybe peace could come from inside a shared child. He frowned. A hybrid. She nodded, but peace never came. The war destroyed everything. The labs, my mother, the scientists. I survived. Only because my father hid me. Reed's eyes narrowed. Your father, the alien. Kaylara looked away. Yes, but he was different. He believed we could live together. They called him a traitor. She touched her stomach slowly. He left something in me. A key, a code, not just DNA. But memory. Reed got up. He began pacing. What kind of code? Kaylara's voice was soft. A memory code passed through blood. From their kind, if uploaded to the right system, it can shut down the last fleet, the one in orbit. Reed froze. The final invasion fleet? She nodded. They don't know I'm alive. If I reach the core station, I can end this war. He stared at her. And what about the breeding part? She looked at him, eyes full of truth. The code is breaking. My body wasn't made to carry it this long. I need a genetic stabilizer. That's where you come in. Reed turned away. So, you want me to be a tool? I want you to help me stop the end of everything, she said. Not for me. For what's left of this world. He stayed silent. A sudden crack echoed through the building. Dust fell from the ceiling. Kaylara's eyes widened. They found us. Reed pulled his rifle. How? I'm tracked, she said. My blood carries a signal. I had no time to remove it. Reed cursed. We move now. He grabbed her arm. She winced but got up. Weak but standing. Outside, in the distance, lights flickered in the sky. Metallic shadows flew through clouds. They're not just here for me, she whispered. They're scanning for human DNA. Reed looked at her. Why? Because you're the last viable host. He stared. Me? She nodded. You're not just any human. You're blood. It carries something rare, ancient resistance. Maybe that's why you're still alive. Reed felt something twist inside his chest. Like the past just punched him in the face. The wind picked up. Explosions echoed from the west. He turned to her. Let's move. If I'm the last, then I better start acting like it. Kaylara smiled for the first time. Weak. But real. And together. They ran into the ruins, hunted by the stars, carrying the last hope of Earth in their blood. The sky was no longer blue. It watched. It hunted. It judged. Above the clouds, machines moved like ghosts, silent, silver, always searching. And below, two figures ran through the ruins. Reed held her hand tightly, pulling her forward as crumbling buildings collapsed behind them. Kaylara was breathing hard, her strength failing, but her spirit unbroken. She could feel the heat of the scanners on her skin. They're close. They're everywhere now. I know, Reed said, voice sharp but calm. Keep moving. They jumped over a broken fence. The sound of engines roared above. A hunter drone swooped down, black metal wings, sharp as blades. It fired a beam of red light, scorching the ground inches behind them. Reed cursed and dragged her into a tunnel. Darkness swallowed them. The drone passed by, searching, scanning, and gone. Only the sound of their breathing remained. Kaylara leaned against the wall. Her eyes were glowing again. They won't stop, not until I'm dead. Reed looked around. Then we stay ahead. or we stop them first. She shook her head. They're not just drones, they're linked. Controlled by something bigger, something alive. He narrowed his eyes. Alive? Yes, she whispered. The Sky Mind. Flashback. A memory flashed inside her. Not her own, but one past. Through blood. A lab. A massive brain machine orbiting Earth. Wires feeding into stars. Thoughts pulsing faster than light. She whispered. It watches all. It knows emotion, fear, pain. It feeds on it. Reed looked at her carefully. So it's not just machines. No, it's conscious. And it hates humans. It calls them the mistake of flesh. They continued deeper into the tunnels. This place had once been a subway. Before the world burned. Old signs still hung, rusted and falling. Reed lit a glow stick. Where does this lead? Lara asked. To the outskirts, he said. We rest there, regroup. But we don't have time to rest. He stopped and looked at her. You don't survive this long by running forever, Reed said. Sometimes you stop. And you fight. Smarter, Lara looked down. I'm just tired. He saw it in her eyes. Not weakness weight. She had been carrying this burden alone for too long. He sat down and motioned for her to do the same. For a moment, there was silence. She finally asked, Why did you really stay back at the tower? Reed didn't answer right away. Then he said, quietly, Because I've walked away from too many things. But not this time. She smiled softly. You're not like the others. Neither are you. They both sat in silence, watching the glow stick flicker. Suddenly dash the ground. Vibrat Nidaka. Ara stood quickly. What was that? The wall behind them cracked and a hand burst through. Not metal. Not flesh. Something in between. It pulled itself. Through. A creature 8 feet tall, skin like black glass. Eyes glowing white. Lara gasped. It's a skyhound. Reed raised his rifle. Cover. He fired. The bullet ricocheted off the creature's armor. The skyhound roared loud and unnatural. It charged. Reed tackled Lara out of the way. They rolled across the tunnel floor. Lara focused. Her hand glowed faintly. She pressed her palm to the wall. Wires underneath sparked. The lights flickered. And then shorted. The skyhound paused. In the darkness, Lara whispered something in a strange language. The machine creature tilted its head. Reed whispered, What are you doing? I'm rewriting its command path, she said. If I can change its directive. The skyhound trembled. Its eyes flickered between red and white. Then suddenly, it stopped, staring at her. Then it bowed. Reed's eyes widened. You control it now. Lara, breathless, nodded. Temporarily. But that means one thing. What? The Sky Mind knows exactly where we are now. A deep hum echoed through the tunnel. Reed looked up. Then we move. Fast. Lara climbed onto the back of the skyhound. She looked at Reed. You coming? He smirked. Hell yes. And they vanished into the tunnels, one human, one hybrid, and one stolen beast racing against time before the sky rained death. Again. High above the ruined earth, the sky blinked, but it wasn't blinking stars. It was eyes, thousands of them, metal, cold, watching. Inside the orbiting shell, at the heart of an alien satellite the size of a city, the Sky Mind woke. Its thoughts were not like human thoughts. They came in data streams, memory pulses, soundless screams. Unauthorized hybrid signal detected. Specimen. Lara status, active. Failure of termination protocol 3. Recalculating. The Sky Mind had no mouth. No voice, but its presence was felt whenever the clouds moved unnaturally. Whenever the machines blinked. Whenever the ground shook without warning. It had only one mission. Erase the failed species. Humans had been marked. Long ago. The hybrid girl? She was an error, a genetic ghost meant to be erased at birth, but she survived. That made her dangerous. And now, she was waking up the old codes. Ancient defense programs hidden in her blood. The Sky Mind processed trillions of options. Then, it made a decision. Send the eye. Begin the fall of the outskirts. Meanwhile, on Earth. The stolen Skyhound sprinted across the broken wastelands, its black body shining under the rising ash sun. Kalara rode on its back, holding the reins made of reprogrammed wires. Reed ran beside it, faster than most humans should be able to, thanks to his enhanced boots and sheer will to live. They had reached the edge of the outskirts, once a rebel city, now forgotten. The buildings here stood half buried in sand, like ancient teeth sticking out of the desert. Reed stopped. We're here. Kalara jumped off the Skyhound. Her legs still trembled. Is it safe? No place is safe, Reed said, but this one's less deadly. They walked into the city slowly. Wind blew through the skeletons of old walls. Signs still hung. Hope lives here. Painted long ago, now faded by war and sun. Kalara touched one. Did you ever live here? For a while, Reed said. Before it fell, they passed burnt-out homes, empty camps. Then, they saw something strange, a light, moving, flickering. Reed pulled his rifle. Stay close. They followed the light through a broken hallway and found a child, human, small, maybe 10 years old. He stared at them. Unafraid, Kalara blinked. A survivor? The boy said nothing. Just turned and ran. Wait! Kalara shouted. They chased him across broken streets until he vanished into a steel bunker hidden under rubble. They climbed down slowly. What they found below changed everything. Inside the bunker, it was alive. Hundreds of people. Human survivors. Children, elders, soldiers, scientists. They all stared at Kalara like she was a ghost. A tall woman stepped forward. Scar across her face. Heavy armor. I don't believe it, she whispered. The hybrid lives. Reed raised an eyebrow. You know her? The woman nodded. We helped create her, Kalara gasped. You were part of the program? Yes. Project Eve, the woman said. We tried to build peace. They turned it into war. We thought you died when the labs fell. Kalara stepped back. Why didn't you look for me? We couldn't, the woman said. The Sky Mind had already begun its purge. Anyone looking for you vanished. We survived by hiding. Reed looked around. Why stay here? You had tech, soldiers. The woman looked up. And pointed. A dark shape was descending from the clouds. A massive sphere with thousands of blinking red eyes. Kalara's face turned pale. It's here. The woman said only 2 words. The eye. The ground shook. And above them, the Sky Mind's weapon prepared to burn the last free city to ashes. Once upon a time, the boy whispered, there was a girl made of stars and scars. He sat by a broken lamp in the underground bunker, telling the story to other children wrapped in old blankets. Their parents listened, pretending to work, but really just listening to hope. She was half human, half ghost, the boy continued. The machines hunted her, the sky wanted her dead. But she ran, faster than fear. Another child asked, did she have a name? The boy smiled. Kalara, the sky's mistake. Outside, the sky screamed. Above ground, moments before. Impact. Kalara stood at the edge of the bunker, wind blowing ash through her silver hair. Her eyes were locked on the giant metal sphere floating above the ruined city. The eye. It had no wings, no mouth, but it radiated pure destruction. Beneath it, clouds twisted. Light bent unnaturally. Gravity trembled. Reed stood beside her. Rifle. Loaded. Heart steady. What does it do? Kalara's voice was barely a whisper. It sees everything. Every heartbeat. Every lie. It finds your weakness and breaks you with it. Reed nodded. So how do we break it first? Behind them, the woman from Project Eve stepped forward. We don't. We hide. That's how we've survived this long. No, Kelara said. Hiding's over. She pulled a silver object from her belt, a data crystal, glowing faintly. This holds the first part of the shutdown code. My father left it in my blood. My mind unlocked it 2 nights ago. Reed raised an eyebrow. And what does that do? Kelara looked at the sky. It speaks to the eye, not with words. With memories. Inside the eye, moment of interface, the crystal lit up. Data shot upward like lightning, reaching the eye. For a brief moment, the machine paused. And inside, it remembered. It saw a lab. A child laughing. A father holding his half-human daughter. It didn't understand joy, but it felt something. A glitch. A flicker. Error. Unclassified memory type. Processing. Anger. The eye began to hum louder. Then it opened, like a flower made of death. Kelara collapsed to her knees. Blood ran from her nose. Reed caught her. What's happening? It's resisting the memory. Fighting it, she gasped. It knows I'm trying to shut it down. The ground split open. Laser beams fell from the sky like red rain. Buildings turned to dust in seconds. People screamed. Soldiers fired useless bullets at the heavens. Underground chaos. Children ran. Parents carried them. Lights flickered. The bunker shook as explosions. Rot the surface. The boy who told the story clutched a broken doll. She said she could stop it, he whispered. She promised. Above ground, turning point. Kelara stood again, face pale but fierce. I have to finish the code. But I need time. Reed pointed to the top of the bunker. Then we buy it. He called to the Skyhound, which still waited in the shadows. He climbed on. You upload. I'll distract. Kelara looked at him. You'll die. Not if you hurry. The Skyhound roared and leapt into the battlefield, lasers flying. Machines descending. Kelara connected the second crystal. Her mind filled with sound screams. Data, the voice of her father, and then a word, a single alien word burned into her mind. Unbind. Her chest lit up, a small implant pulsing under her skin. It cracked open. Inside it. A tiny seed of light, she whispered. This isn't just code, it's a weapon. The weapon within her body rose into the air. Light poured from her eyes. The wind screamed louder now. From her hands, a pulse shot into the eye. The eye cracked, screamed, tried to flee, but it was too late. Kelara opened her mouth and spoke not in words, but in frequency, a sound only machines could hear, a command. Only the sky mind could understand. Stand down. The eye froze, then boom. It fell from the sky, flaming like a dying god. The impact shook the earth. Dust flew for miles. And then silence. Aftermath. Reed returned, bloodied but alive. Kelara stood in the ruins, her legs weak, her heart heavy. It worked, he said. No, she whispered. That was only one of its eyes. He stared at her. How many does it have? He asked. She looked at the sky. 7. Archive, Sky Mind Log Delta. 66. I saw the human bleed to protect her. I do not understand this pattern. The weak do not protect the weaker, unless the weak are irrational. What is this pattern called? Love, error, undefined, initiating observation. Phase 2. Underground. The days after the fall, the eye had fallen. But its shadow still touched everything. The survivors dragged metal from the ruins to seal the bunker tighter. No one spoke about hope anymore, only time. How much time they had before the next eye opened. Kelara hadn't spoken in hours. She sat alone, back against a cold wall, knees pulled to her chest. Her fingers glowed sometimes, small pulses of blue light dancing through her skin like wires. Waking up. Reed watched her from across the room. The wound on his side ached, but not as much as the silence between them. He walked over and sat down beside her. You haven't slept. She didn't look at him. I don't sleep like I used. To my dreams speak now, in their language. Reed hesitated. Are they telling you what to do? Kelara looked at him. Her eyes flickered, for a moment, not purple, but pure white. Not yet. Meanwhile, inside the bunker, the woman from Project Eve stood with a small group in the shadows, whispering, watching. She's changing. One man said, she's not stable. She killed the eye, the woman replied. She saved us. The man shook his head. Or she called it here. We don't know what she is, or what else she's hiding. Someone else added, we should contain her. Before it's too late. The woman didn't answer, but her eyes were already full of doubt. Kelara's mutation, that night. Kelara stepped away from the sleeping bunker and walked into the tunnel alone. Reed followed. Silent, he found her staring at the broken wall. Her hand pressed against it. Veins of light were growing under her skin. Faster, brighter. Kelara, he said, slowly. What's happening to you? She turned around. I don't know. Every time I unlock more of the code, something inside me unlocks too. She stepped toward him. Reed, what if I'm not meant to survive this? He looked at her. What do you mean? What if I'm the key in the fuse? Flashback fragment. Memory transfer. Suddenly she gasped. Her body froze, and a flash hit her mind. A memory not hers. A lab full of alien children, screaming, her father, eyes full of sorrow, whispering, if the code completes, you won't be you anymore. She fell to her knees. Reed caught her. Hey, Kelara, what did you see? Tears fell down her cheeks. I'm not just carrying the shutdown sequence, I'm the weapon. Back in the bunker, mutiny brewing down below, the whispers turned into plans. A few armed survivors approached. The hallway quietly. She's a threat now. If we wait, it'll be too late. Their footsteps echoed. And the sky mined. Watched from orbit. Its fractured systems replayed the human conflict over and over. Observation. Humans fear their own creation. Prediction. They will kill her before the code completes. Strategy. Let them. Final scene. The betrayal begins. Kelara sat on the floor, leaning against Reed. I don't want to become something. You'll have to stop. You won't, he said softly. But behind them, the bunker door creaked open. Voices rose. Guns were raised. And the one who stepped forward was the woman who once protected her. Her face was full of pain, but her voice was full of steel. Kelara. I'm sorry, we can't let you finish the code. Kelara stood slowly. Her veins glowed. Her eyes burned white, and for the first time her voice didn't sound human anymore. Then you'll have to try and stop me. Begin recording. If anyone finds this message, then one of us made it. My name is Reed Thorne. I was a scavenger, a fighter. But this isn't about me. This is about the girl who wasn't supposed to exist. The one the sky feared. The one we almost killed. Before she saved us all. Her name was Kelara. She wasn't just half human. She was everything we forgot how to be. And today, she's going to end the war, even if it ends her. Transmission distorted bunker. Minutes later, alarms screamed. Lights flickered. Guns fired. Smoke filled the air as the bunker erupted into a war zone, not against machines, but between humans and each other. Kelara stood in the middle of it all. Her body was glowing now, not softly, but violently. The code inside her had become active. Symbols danced across her skin like living tattoos. They weren't just data anymore. They were destiny. Get back. Reed shouted, shielding her as bullets hit the walls behind them. She's going critical. Someone yelled. No, Kelara said, voice layered with something. Inhuman, she's waking up. Skymind final protocol in orbit. The Skymind knew it was running out of time. The eyes were falling one by one. The code was spreading. It couldn't stop it. Final protocol. SEL F drop. Initiating planetfall. Target, Earth. Impact time. 5 minutes. It no longer cared about survival. If it couldn't rule the Earth, it would destroy it. Back in the bunker, the choice. Kalara's eyes went pure white. Her voice cracked with static. I can link to the sky mine directly now. Read. Step forward, bleeding. Then do it. Shut it down. I can't. Why? She turned to him, tears in her eyes, and burning light in her chest. Because it's not just data anymore, Reed. The shutdown code is me. Reed's breath caught. You mean, if I send it, I go with it. No return, no body left. Just light. And then ... gone. Silence. Explosions echoed above ... and still. Silence between them ... Then Reed said, softly, I know. The last kiss, but not a love story. Kalara stepped close. This wasn't supposed to happen, she said. What? You, me. This. Reed smirked. Nothing ever goes to plan. She leaned in. They didn't kiss like lovers. They kissed like people who knew it was goodbye. Like two ends of a bridge. Finally meeting in the middle. Final sequence. The transmission. Kayleigh stepped onto the metal platform in the center of the bunker. The old alien terminal lit up as she connected herself. Light flooded the room. Her voice echoed in every frequency known. Human. Alien. Machine. She didn't scream. She sang. A single harmonic pulse. One that reached orbit. One that shattered the sky mine's core logic. One that made it remember its own mercy before it was twisted into war. And then it stopped. The sky mine went silent. The last eye, halfway to Earth, cracked apart mid-fall and burned in the sky like a second sun. Aftermath. Silence. The real kind. The peaceful kind. Reed opened his eyes. The bunker was intact. The city above was not destroyed, and Kalara was gone. Only a faint shimmer remained on the metal floor, where she stood. But something else was there too. A small orb of light. It floated into Reed's hand. Inside it, her voice. Reed, if this made it to you, then maybe I did too. In some way. Don't let them forget me. Not the girl, not the weapon, not the code, just the choice. Epilogue. Years later, the sky is blue again. Children play near a new city, one built on top of the ruins. One little girl walks by a statue, a tall metal figure, glowing softly with alien script. She asks her father, who was she? He kneels beside her. And says, she was the girl the sky couldn't break.